Welcome to Relevance for Today, a show where you will be encouraged, inspired, and fed through the Word of God. You will find relevant teachings, tips, discussions, interviews, and more for both believers and even non-believers who are considering salvation through Jesus Christ. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey folks, Steve Lewis here. Welcome to Relevance for Today. We're doing something special today. I'm hanging out with my son and his friend Braylon.
Hey, I'm just a friend.
Braylon and Steven.
I can't even get a family status. I'm just a friend. Man. Come on,
family. We're family and the brethren.
Got what I need. Said he's just a friend. No.
Oh man.
Hey, welcome to the family, Braylon. Braylon and Steven, Dallas, Texas. Guys, what's going on?
Big D chilling. Day off, kind of.
Yeah?
We don't get many of these.
Where do you guys work?
Grand Prairie Ford.
Okay, so first of all, Steven, you're 27 now.
Yeah.
27-year-old. You guys know about my son if you've been following or keeping up with Relevance for Today podcast shows. Every once in a while, I like to go off the cuff and hang out and do some chilling time. And so my 27-year-old son and the friend of the family,
Braylon.
That's me.
Braylon.
That's me.
How old are you,
Braylon's
Braylon?
23.
That's spot on.
23.
24 and literally a month from today.
Nice.
A month from today, I'll be 24.
He's 23
Yes.
in dog years, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, when you
So-
said your age, I was thinking about that Kevin Hart meme.
What?
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh man, come on, man.
Okay, so let's keep the audience involved.
All right.
So he starts going off. See, that's what friends do. They hang out, they start having their little private conversations, and I sit here staring off into space like,
Okay.
can I be a part of the group?
Let's get on. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's good. It's good. These guys are both, you guys work together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We do.
yeah.
Work
Barely
together,
see each other at work,
against
but we
each
work
other.
together. Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Sales, you don't really work with anybody.
Sales
fair.
what? What are you selling?
We selling cars.
Trucks, SUVs, whatever you want.
Nice. Okay.
Fastest growing Ford store in Texas.
So you work for Ford.
Absolutely.
America tough.
Built tough.
Built tough.
right there.
Tough.
Yeah.
Texas edition.
Yeah, so I'm hoping by doing this podcast show, maybe I can get a, if you guys want me to drive around a truck or something like that for you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, you got to move to Texas first. You got to get out of that cold state. Ooh.
Hey, listen.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's good. So we're going to be just talking about life. We're just hanging out, talking about life. You both aren't from Dallas.
No.
So let's get it started since you're saying nope. Tell us what it's all about.
From the dirty, man. Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Lafayette.
Oh, yeah.
Lafayette, Louisiana.
Lots of scrimps.
Oh, yeah.
Scrimp boats.
Alligator, anything. Everything. The swamp. It's nasty out there. Really South Louisiana, though. Nobody's familiar with Louisiana. But, if you go North Louisiana, that's Arkansas. That ain't Louisiana.
Yeah.
That don't
Okay.
count. That don't count at
So
all.
you're talking coastline type.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Shreveport don't count either.
No, absolutely not.
New
That's North
Orleans
Louisiana.
don't
No,
count.
it
New
don't
Orleans
count.
is-
Huh?
New Orleans counts.
Yeah, that's what I think said Shreveport.
Okay. I did say Shreveport don't count. No, New Orleans
absolutely
definitely
not.
counts.
You got to be below I-10. Like Interstate 10 runs across the
Okay.
very middle lower Louisiana. If you're below that, you're from Louisiana.
So it's like crawdads and tell us, man.
It's crawfish, man.
Crawfish down there.
Out of Louisiana, that's crawdads. Fair enough. But it's crawfish all day. But yeah, it's just nothing to it. There's not much to it, to be honest with you. Everybody hypes up Louisiana, especially New Orleans. It's obviously a tourist place, you know what I mean? But when you go there, a lot of people are like, why'd I come here? I'll be honest with you. It's cool to see it and everything. New Orleans really is cool. They have the whole voodoo vibe and all that, but it's like,
it is cool because when I lived in Biloxi in 2020, I was going there every weekend, and it was cool at the time.
What were you doing there?
Just walking around.
Yeah.
I was a tourist.
But that's what I'm saying,
We're walking around because of COVID. We couldn't really go in places
Yeah.
unless we were eating. But you can do whatever you want when you're walking around.
Yeah, I probably just have a different view on it because I'm from there. It's
Yeah.
not something that excites me very much. But as far as you, when you went, it's a whole different story. Other people go, they might love it.
Right.
But
But you
when
got to
I
give
see it.
props to the people that actually live there too.
Oh,
Because some of them are
100%.
listening right now and they're going to punch you in the
It's
face.
incredible. No, it's incredible down there. There's some very, very talented people as well. If you go from Mardi Gras, talent
What
all
about
day, every day.
They've got, what kind of music is down there?
Zydeco.
What's it called?
Zydeco, yeah.
So they got a lot of, it's almost like a blues type thing
Absolutely.
with
Add some
the
jazz
horns
a little
blowing.
there. Yep, 100%.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of talent. I'm just talking about like as like. I mean, there's also a lot of scenery. Now that I think about it, I'm like, you know what, New Orleans is great.
But as a 23-year-old.
Was that?
As a 23-year-old young man.
I mean, it depends what you're going there for, to be honest. I mean, you could go and enjoy it just as well.
Fishing? You don't fish, do you?
Yeah, I fish. I absolutely fish. 100%. I like to redfish. I like to redfish. I like to redfish. If like I'm going fishing, see, I'm not really like a pond type of fisherman. But like if we're we're going fishing, like we'll go in the Gulf of Mexico, which is obviously South Louisiana, all day.
That's different.
That's serious fishing. Going out in the boats.
I love deep sea fishing.
Oh man,
all day, every day.
I love it
every day.
And I've only gone once.
Really?
It's the best.
We caught so much though. I think we caught like 15 red snappers. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. Some dude was just trailing off the back of the boat and caught a wahoo. Like a 20-pound wahoo.
I mean, caught a drumfish one time. That thing, I mean, I was a kid. Last time when we caught this, I was like 14 years old. That drumfish was the size of me. It was huge. It was the biggest fish I've ever seen in my life. Dream is a marlin, though. That's a dream fish.
Yeah, beautiful fishing. So you were fishing. Where'd you fish, son?
I was in Destin, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. We went so far out. I fell asleep and everybody was seasick. So there was like 10 of us actually fishing, but a couple of us fell asleep and our equilibriums adjusted while the boat was moving for real.
Yeah.
And we got out there and we were just catching 3 red snapper at one time. And just waiting, you reel it up. It was crazy. Vermilion snapper, red snapper, white snapper. Oh man. A couple people caught groupers.
Yeah.
One dude caught a grouper and a shark bit it in half on the way out.
Wow.
No, that was cool.
It's impressive.
It was just a head.
It's impressive.
And their eyeballs are the size of a human.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
fish are so big.
I'm definitely a seasick kind of person myself.
I believe it.
I got to put those little things behind my ears. Sick. Yeah, I know. It's terrible, man. I feel like with age, it got worse, too. That's the worst part.
Everybody gets car sick with me, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. I get car sick when I ride with these guys.
I mean, come on.
Fast and Furious ain't got nothing on these clowns.
You live to drive. You don't drive to live. Too many people drive to live. I live to drive.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you say that?
People drive to live because you got to drive to work. You got to drive to the grocery store.
But you live to drive.
I live to drive because, it's
a good way of looking at it.
I like being on 4 wheels.
What are you guys driving right now? What's your main go-to car?
Ford F-150, baby.
Yeah. Good. Lifted.
Yeah.
2022?
21. That's
21.
Is it lifted or do you got a level on it?
It's technically a lift. It's a 3-inch lift from 35s, but
he's 6'4".
Yeah. It's crazy because I was with somebody that was short and she was like
anyway, I was there, right?
No, this was actually like the other day. So I was with somebody that was short, and like we were walking up to the truck, and like I put my head on her shoulder just to like get her eye view, and I was like, "This sucks." To be honest, like I hate to say it because I mean I'm used to being 6'4", I guess.
Right.
And then I opened my door, and she was like, "Your truck's so big, whatever." I was like, "How?" So I put my head back down again. I was like, "For real, this is huge."
Like I this literally seen this man like go to help somebody in the truck and like ended up tossing them, and they kind of like landed on their heads.
This is a true story.
It was actually
this is a true story.
But he didn't have the side steps.
I mean, we always talk about like viewing other people's perspective, but like that's the first time I witnessed it firsthand. Like my truck's nothing to me. Like I wish it was bigger, but when I put my head down, I'm like, this is huge. Like you have to reach for the handle.
It
like,
really is. It's and everybody like when you just watch people run and jump into it. And yours isn't even that big. I'm like, some of these trucks around Texas, and here I am getting down like
honestly
2 inches from the ground in my little car.
Yeah,
little car.
Your little car.
Yeah, I'm saying, huh? Put a little elaborate on that. Speak. What kind of car is this?
Yeah, what kind of car is it? What are you driving?
We're going in the 21 Porsche Taycan.
Nice. Yeah,
say that one more time.
The Porsche Taycan, the all new electric Porsche.
Yes, it's electric too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man.
Because gas is too expensive.
Is that what it is?
It's depreciation.
13 miles per gallon right here.
I could either spend $500 a month in gas, or I could spend $500 more a month in payment.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's a true point.
It's true.
It's true point.
Over the span of the life of my loan, I'm saving almost $50,000 having an electric car.
You hear that, folks? And he's not a go green type of person. He's not trying to sell go green. Hopefully,
no,
I'm just playing. I'm just playing for you folks out there.
But still, it just made sense.
It does.
Honestly, I feel like you've told me that before, but now that you think about it, I'm like, dude,
it makes a lot of. Think about all the money you spend in gas.
It's too much.
And people hate on electricity. They're like, oh well, I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have the inconvenience of charging my car. And I'm like, well, I don't want the inconvenience of paying and going to a gas station. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing.
It's actually beneficial for you.
Time out though. I want to interrupt though. Unless you leave your car on the roof,
honestly,
still plugged in,
I charged
for 72
my car for
hours.
Oh yeah.
You left the leaf.
I didn't have a window sticker in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. He forgot.
I have another electric car, the Nissan Leaf.
I mean, honestly, unless you're taking like huge road trips, obviously, I feel like it's more beneficial because you're like me putting gas, going to a gas station takes time out of my day. You're doing it while you sleep.
And when you're going on a road trip, you're stopped for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes every time you stop.
Exactly.
The same thing, I can charge my Porsche and it takes, for a full charge, it takes 14 minutes. And it costs $8.
Insane.
And it's going to be in a cool location, a casino, a big, huge area with a bunch of food. And remember when we stopped, we got free food. We got the free donuts or whatever.
We're at the restaurant.
And it wasn't even like we were charging my car though.
Yeah, it was like we went in to have a snack.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously, if you're taking a road trip, you're with somebody else. Y'all both need to pee. Y'all both need to eat. Y'all both need to. So,
right.
I mean, it
is convenient.
As long as you do have something that runs on gas.
Yeah.
Because if Dallas gets hit with, like, let's say, an ice storm.
You know what's funny about that? You say that.
But you had power.
The gas stations were shut down. I could still charge my car at the Tesla charge station. I had all-wheel drive. I was like going the normal speed limit, zooming. My car was hot. I never worried about anything. And it was perfect. And that was when I was in the Tesla.
Now, the Tesla charger stations, so they must not run on local power then.
I don't know where it comes from, but they were there. And I was charging my car there.
That's crazy.
I've seen Teslas go up to the windshield in water because there's no combustion.
Oh.
It's a waterproof battery.
You hear that, folks?
I've
never thought about that.
Up to the windshield, driving through a flooded road all the way up to the windshield. There's no combustion.
Amphibious.
I'll put a snorkel in my truck. I'll do the same thing.
The water needs to be about 10 feet.
That would be creepy, wouldn't it?
Seriously. I never thought about it either until I saw a video.
Because the batteries are waterproof. As long as the batteries are waterproof, you're set.
And he's sitting here passing by people with lines, just waiting on gas. And there's Steven.
There's Steven.
Oh, no, there's another epidemic. There's another president that hates everybody and raised the gas prices.
Oh, jeez.
Here I am. Electricity is still cheap and free sometimes.
Fair.
Now that they hear this podcast, it's going to go up.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. That's all it takes.
So
Let me talk
views
about
then
something
at that
else.
point.
Yeah, let's talk about some stuff about,
Yeah.
No, but that's cool, though.
Yeah.
So you guys both work together. We got two different types of vehicles. We're driving around, chilling.
Haven't made it
life
that big
of Dallas. Well, you're working your way up. You're still, you're young.
Braylon's got a great future. I was in the Air Force making $4,000 a month when I was your age.
Yeah. I do that a lot, though. Like I said at my desk, and like, I'll think about
it was. I never used it.
Never underestimated.
Fair enough. What was I saying?
But
I was gonna say, like, I do that sometimes. Like, I'll be at my desk, like, thinking about, like, you a lot of times, because I mean, obviously I spend most of my time with you. I'm like thinking about where you're at, but I also think about how I'm 23. I'm like, where am I gonna be at when I'm your age? You know what I mean?
And I look at you like I'm mad because I'm not where you are at your 23-year-old age. Like, if I could go back, I'd be like, nah, I'm not going to the Air Force. I'm just gonna go get a commission job and start killing it.
But you may not have been the same person.
Exactly.
Because you learned a lot of leadership skills. Yeah.
I don't regret anything.
Yeah. That's a good point. But still, you're saying exactly how you feel, which is good.
Like, I look at him like he looks at me.
Yep.
But then he has to realize, and then I have to realize, like, okay, well, I probably wouldn't be as good as I am. And there's no way I'd be as good as I am if I didn't join the military and have all the supervisory experience and everything.
True.
So I'm not mad about it.
What made you want to do that? Like
Air Force?
Sales. Like, get out of...
I got a job as a civilian air traffic controller, and then I needed something to do while I waited for my medical stuff to go through, and I was just looking up jobs that you can make a bunch of money, and they were like, car sales in Dallas, Texas. Car salesmen here make the most money in the U.S., and I was like, okay. Flew down here, got interviewed. This is actually on my last podcast me and my dad did. We talked about how I was about to go do this, and it was like some new journey. Well, here I am. And I wasn't wrong about what I was going to do. The only difference is I'm going to stay in the car business or in some type of sales job.
Yeah, and you had no idea you're going to make as much money as you end up making.
Yeah, for sure. It's honestly like a joke.
When you're mad because you're paying a lot of money in taxes for 1 month.
Yeah. I know. I literally pay double.
Tell me about it.
I pay double in taxes what I used to make as an active duty staff sergeant.
Yeah.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
But I always tell people though, but back to the military though, you can never really compare that because
you can't.
You know what I mean? Because you got room and board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've
Benefits
got
are
the chow hall, you can
schedule,
go and eat.
I would do anything to work 4 days on, 2 days off, only 8-hour shifts. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So there's a lot of comparisons
We work
you can make.
60 plus hours a week.
Yeah, you guys do now.
Yeah.
Easy.
The fact that we have this time to do this is insane.
I know. And we should be at work. It's our off day.
Yeah.
And we should be at work. Like, I feel guilty that I'm not at work.
Right.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
But
it's
the grind.
Yeah, it's the grind. You guys, as long as you can find a fine balance, which you found, you're finding a fine balance between working a lot to get your goals, but also having a life.
It took a lot to get adjusted at first, though. Because like, obviously all that was like new to me. All that coming at once. And it was a lot at once.
Right.
Especially like
when you see that check come in, it's like, what?
And then
I get paid every week?
Yeah, you get paid every week. You get paid a lot. And then the next month, after the last day of the month, you have you have another 30 days where you've made $0.
Yeah.
And you're not going to make, like this year, for example. It's weird. It's like, wow, I did really well last year, but I haven't made a cent and I'm not projected to make 1 penny this whole entire year.
True.
So it's a little bit weird.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. It's not for everybody, but also what's neat about it is you're the one that's in charge.
Exactly.
It's not like, I mean, when I say that, for all you Ford dealership owners out there,
Anybody. Really.
but anybody. But when I say that, it's like, it's on you. It's not 100%. On Braylon if you don't sell any cars this month.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to worry about it at the end of the month going, man, the team did not work together. I busted my butt like a basketball team.
Yeah.
You busted your butt. You trained. You went to play the basketball game. You're the only one that tried. In the car business, you guys are like, it's you.
It's golf.
For real.
It's golf.
There
it's
you go.
CrossFit.
Yep. Like you said, that's the perfect way to say it's golf. You hit the swing and bam, you get a hole in one sometimes.
I also retired from CrossFit publicly in the last
Hallelujah.
podcast. Remember? I announced that I was retiring.
You were going to quit. They said, no, I'm just kidding.
Nah, I didn't just joke about that. I'm about 20 pounds heavier. Been going
Healthy.
to the gym, getting swole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When was this last podcast?
Oh my
I was
gosh, it was a
25,
couple years ago.
24. I was 24.
A couple years ago.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we had a good chat, and we were talking about CrossFit because
Maybe 25.
it was wearing your body out. Because Steven doesn't just participate in something. He goes for the gold
Absolutely.
as soon as possible.
Well, I mean, why settle for anything less?
But
if I'm going to put in the time to do, but that's the way I
you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
so
course.
when you go to CrossFit, you're not waiting a whole year to be able to do 500 chin-ups. You're trying to do 500 chin-ups within
tomorrow.
the next 2 months. And then
tomorrow.
the muscles start snapping and popping and kneecaps and backbones. And so,
but yeah, if you're going to put an hour in every day, why not make it the best hour?
yes. Hey, that's actually good. I can use that in a Bible study.
For real though.
For real,
I
with
saw
anything.
this thing.
Every day.
I'm gonna jack this up. You could actually probably take this out, but this is me just telling you guys.
Yeah.
I was watching this thing, and I don't know if I showed you this, but this guy was talking about paying him per hour, and he was like, so if I build you this phone, for example, your custom phone, right, and you're paying me per hour, and I say it's gonna take me about 2 months. Right. And I put in 10 hours every week for 2 months. Are you going to happily pay me for your brand new custom phone? If that's exactly what you want, it's the time frame that you wanted it in, and it's perfect. So you're going to pay me $100, right? And that's what we agreed to. So if I took a year and your phone was perfect, would you still pay me $100? Okay. So if I built it in...
Well... Okay, I see.
Would you pay me $100 an hour if it took me a year?
I see what you're saying.
But you're paying me way more though.
Yeah, to build the same.
But would you pay me $10,000 an hour if it only took me 3 days to build?
That's a weird way of looking.
And he was like, "Do you?" So he was like, "So
from Elon Musk."
And he was like, What's more important to you, time or money? Is your time more important, or is your money more important? Because you could spend the same amount and wait a year. And the guy's rebuttal was like, well, if you build it quick, then it might not be as efficient. He's like, or my time was just way more efficient. He was more efficient with his time.
He was just trying to get out of the
time is more valuable. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow. That was a random thought, but I wanted to tell you guys that. I meant to tell you that. at work the other day, but it's true. Everybody's like, oh, well, you're not worth $100 an hour. Well, what do you mean? Maybe it's worth more, because if you get it done quicker and more efficient, then that's just a month that you get whatever your item is or whatever the service.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people want it yesterday.
Exactly.
And some people will pay to get it yesterday.
Exactly. But then there's the other person that's like, oh, well, I want it done efficiently. Well, who's to say the person making it in a week isn't just as efficient, if not better?
Right.
That's why they're charging 10 grand an hour or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point, though. But that also shows, hey, be the best you can be. Like you said, if you're going to take an hour or however you say
if you're going to spend an hour doing something every day, if you're going to get on the bike for an
best you can
hour,
be.
are you going to spend that hour going 50 reps per minute, or are you going to spend the hour going 85 if you can handle it? Because you're still wasting that hour regardless.
Yeah.
But you're just burning more calories if you're doing higher reps. Or if you're spending more time, you're working harder, you're always going to do better. You're always going to have a better outcome if you put more work into it.
Right.
You're still wasting an hour.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, so that's important. I like what you guys are talking about, because for me as a minister, I try to tell people the same thing. You know, we'll sit there and waste time on Facebook. You know, I'll sit there and watch reels and be laughing. You and I send back silly videos of people falling on bikes and stuff like this and all this stuff for a good laugh. And 2 hours will be gone. And it's like, holy. Yeah. And I'll talk to some people and be like, well, I just don't have time to read my Bible. And it's like really?
That's not true.
That's not true, because we would get on Facebook and we'll scroll.
Yeah.
We've all been trapped in scrolling Facebook, Instagram, laughing, giggling. And then you look up at the clock and you're like, holy, I just wasted 2 hours.
Exactly.
And hands down, I feel like I don't have time is one of the biggest lies.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
I don't have time to make myself food. I'm like, that's
sleep. You know what? Sleep less.
I bring food to work literally every single day, and I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, because I sit there, I waste a lot of time.
Yeah,
I just feel like my life has just gone by so quick because I'm just like wasting time.
You know what's crazy? You say you waste a lot of time, and look where you're at, right?
Don't.
But at the same time, imagine if you didn't waste no time. Where would you be?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Because like you've obviously accomplished a whole lot. You know what I mean?
But still, I could do better. Everybody can do better.
Yeah, everybody can do better. But as long as you have some balance, because you have to have some layback time. Because like I learned that running the food pantry. I was running the food pantry, teaching Bible study. I was doing all this stuff thinking I was saving the world, being so busy. And I never had Steve Lewis time. And it was crazy. Because it was just like go.
Yeah, I remember.
Of course you remember. And then you guys would call. They'd be like, okay, go play basketball with you guys or watch all you guys' basketball games. Go deliver food. Boom, 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 boom. And as a disabled veteran, what I didn't realize mentally for me, it was making me feel better being busy.
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're accomplishing something, you're helping people out, and you've got some purpose to your life. But then I also realize it's okay to sit back, play Xbox for a little while, hang out. I mean, you guys are putting in 12-hour shifts too, don't forget. So when you say you waste a lot of time, I don't like using that word a lot. You even fit the gym in.
I feel like being at work for 12 hours and putting in 12-hour shifts is completely different. Because you know what I mean? Like,
because sometimes I'll go to work. Yeah, I'll go to work for 12 hours. I'll go to work for 14 hours some days.
To be honest with you, I feel like doing nothing for 12 hours is way more draining than putting in apps.
Oh, for sure. Work. Oh, you sell 3 cars in one day. You just had the best day. You're happy, and it was like fast.
And it's like you feel great.
If you sit there
mentally,
don't do anything for 12 hours, I'm just like miserable at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you went. Kudos, man. It's 2022, and you guys are showing up to work.
I mean,
it's crazy to be able to say that
for us.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't afford not to. Dang.
Come on now.
I got a lot of debt. That's expensive.
Just gotta make it good debt, man.
Debt's expensive.
It's really expensive.
Living that life.
The more money you make, the more money you spend.
Facts.
I remember when Braylon first started working with me, and I hate training people now. After air traffic, I hate training people. So they were like, hey,
but you're good at it.
Train Braylon. And I was like, oh my God. Okay. So
This is a true story.
Braylon would not stop asking me questions, but the questions he was asking me, he wasn't asking me what I do. He was asking me how to do something.
Nice.
Like, in sales, like, oh, well, how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you do this? No, like, how do I, as Steven, how would I do something? And that's not how it should be, because I'm different. I'm different than Braylon. You're different than me. Like if my dad was in sales, he'd be like the nicest guy in the whole world and everybody would love him, and he would make a killing just because he's nice and he smiles nice.
Yeah. That's true.
No, but for real. And his voice sounds soft and people feel comfortable around him. Yeah.
Buttery soft.
My approach is very different. I'm very serious, but I'm fun. And like once people see the fun side and like I figure out what makes sense for people, and that's my approach. And I feel like you're similar to that just because your personality, not because I told you to do that.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's crazy because like I remember my first day there. Actually, when I was doing my interview, right? I was doing my interview and you were sitting in you remember when you used to sit in the back? Yeah. Yeah. So Robert was doing my interview and we were just talking about like finance and stuff like that. And he was like, this guy makes X amount. I don't know if I thought he was exaggerating time, right? I thought so, but he wasn't. He absolutely was not. And I was like, that's crazy. But like, even when the next day when I was hired, that Monday, right? Or I said the next day, it was like 2 days later when I was hired, and I seen you walk around. I just like, that's the guy. You know what I mean? Like there was so many other workers there, but like I just looked at him. I was like, "That's the guy. Like he's that guy." You know, does that make sense? Like somebody perfect. Carries that like aroma with them. I guess you could say. And from then I was just like I could tell you were
and
somewhat
you also
like me.
Have
you know
that,
what I mean?
Though, and that's why
that makes sense.
Once he started the way he was approaching being trained, he even now he'll like text me and be like, or he'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, this is what's going on. Help." Yeah. And it takes a lot to do that. Yeah. And I mean, I'll even do that. I don't care. I'd rather get half of a car deal and swallow my pride, because you can never, there's just certain people you can't get across to.
Right.
100%. There's just certain people that I can never sell that Braylon could sell. There's certain people that he could sell. There's certain people, Ron can sell anybody. That's different. Ron, I'm like, hey, Ron, I don't think I can sell this girl a car. Can you take over? And guess what? Ron sold her a car.
Absolutely.
And you just got to know. And that's, I think, another part about being in sales. You have to know, because I made more money because I knew that I couldn't sell that girl a car. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're being selfish.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Yeah. But it's true. Like Braylon would hit me up. He'd be like, hey, I don't know, but I know you can make way more money for the two of us than I could by myself. And it's like, hey, let's go.
This is very true.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Like certain customers, I know. I'm like, yeah, Steven, all day.
That's awesome, though.
But still, he's gotten so good. It's crazy.
That's good. That's awesome. Goal driven. You know what 100%. You want. Like you said, you saw the guy and you're like, that's the guy. You know the old saying, you want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires. Yeah. You want to be 100%.
It's the truest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. And I always used to think I always thought like, these people are just blowing smoke just because they're rich. It's easy for them to say. But you are who your friends are. Yeah. 100%. You become who your friends are. Yep. Like you always want to be, and obviously it's not about people making money. Right. But you will find people, you always want to be chasing somebody.
Yes.
I always want to be the brokest friend out of the friend group.
That's a good point though.
Always.
I was listening to somebody that was talking about, well, no, but it's seriously, it's like, for me, in ministry, if I'm the guy who everybody looks at as being the leader and I have no one to lead me, it's like you feel lonely on the top. And you're like, yeah, but who do I get to scrape some stuff from? I want to scrape some knowledge from some people. Yeah. And now I've got a couple mentors in my life where I'm able to sit back and do like Braylon was doing to you. So how do you do this? How do you do that? They call you for no reason and talk to you and build you up. Absolutely. And stuff like that. And it's important. And then, well, I got a TV show now. You know what I mean?
For real. And it's like you have people that are like, dude, you're doing a good job. But when you're at the top, no, but who's telling those people they're doing a good job? Everybody's just hating on them because they're doing good. Exactly. You have the people that are asking them, but I would just say I would always need people, always have people to chase. Yes. Always. I had that growing up. Yeah. I had Travis in sports. Always chasing him. Yeah. Air traffic control. There's always a controller that was better. Yeah. And you always wanted to be the best. Yeah. Same in sales.
Goal driven. It does help. Don't settle.
I feel like it helps when your mindset is that though. Because I mean, you just said like there's gonna be those people that hate though. You know, I was never like, when I seen him, I knew he was that guy, right? I didn't hate on him like, oh, I'm going to go after. I humbled myself and I went after him, basically. You know what I'm saying? And now, I mean, there's people doing that towards me. So it's like, that was nice.
It's like, oh, yeah.
But then you're doing something right when people hate you because of the car you drive.
Absolutely.
And people look at you and they disrespect you because of the life you live, because you've worked harder than they have.
Mm-hmm. But if they would honestly just have a conversation with you, they would know you're a good person, but they don't. They won't, because like you said, I mean, jealousy, things of that nature.
It's
like,
crazy.
What are you scared of? Just like
they'll
a lot of these people are actually good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just talk with them.
Yeah.
Like he's intimidating when you look at him and you don't know him. Mm-hmm. But I was like, hey, what's up?
And his voice.
Yeah.
His voice when he says something new here.
Usually every time I see him, my lack of emotion. Everything.
Yeah. True.
Just dark. But he's cool. But he's really like, you know what I'm saying? But he's cool. Yes. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
I have noticed, like, that's one thing I do like about Dallas. There's a lot of people that will tell you good job.
True.
That's awesome.
Like, dang, man, what are you doing? You're killing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of success around.
There is.
See, okay.
Holy
actually,
cow.
We were talking about from Louisiana. That's why I moved to Dallas. Because I knew, like, I'm literally from a one red light town. Like, no joke, one red light.
We are too.
Cannot exaggerate it.
Same.
Just cane field everywhere, right?
4-way.
Yeah, literally.
Right there.
Potato fields.
Exactly. So y'all get it. I'm glad we all understand.
100%.
And obviously, like, not to bring New Orleans up again, but I want to go somewhere, like, I'm that person in the family. I was always different, right? I always wanted to be successful as I possibly could. And I knew if I'm around success, this is all playing into effect. Imagine that.
Yeah.
If I'm around success, I have to be successful. Like, it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to New Orleans. I wanted to go to the closest big city. New Orleans, it wasn't it. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't doing it. And then obviously Dallas is amazing. So I went to visit Dallas one time. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I came here with no friends, no family, no nothing. Just me. I got a job, like, while I was still in Louisiana. I started a week later, came here, did it. And then
such a similar story.
And that was the
hilarious.
Ford.
Yeah, was that?
At Ford.
No. So actually, it was just a job to get me to Dallas.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't know that much about Dallas. I really didn't.
Yeah.
And then I always knew I wanted to be in sales, some kind of sales. And it just so happened I ended up at the Ford dealership, and look at me now.
Didn't you did door-to-door sales before?
Well, actually, to get to Dallas, I worked at Nebraska Furniture Mart in the warehouse. Just to
Didn't
get
you work
here.
for AT&T?
Well, that's what I did, door-to-door sales.
Oh, yeah.
Well, business to business, AT&T and DirecTV.
It's just crazy. Like, I feel like I've known you for so long, because I remember when me and him were first talking, he was like, yeah, I work 50-hour weeks making what, $2,000 a month or something like that?
Yeah, if that.
I'm like,
it depends.
And then he tells like you, you can do that in a day.
Yeah, for real.
Literally. Selling cars.
First deal this month, yeah.
That's
it was
crazy.
Insane. It was insane. But I mean, it's just, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I was scared. Trust me. Like, there was nobody. There was nice. Like, it sucked. It sucked. And all you could think about is going back and stuff. But once you get over it, I mean, you know? And now it feels good to not tell my family no. I can't, like, I used to always tell them, like, Mom, I don't have it. Like, things of that nature. I'm not saying, like, my family's broken, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But just to my sister, just everybody. No,
just wait.
No, right? Yeah. But no, like, honestly, like, just everybody, I'm like, absolutely. Like, it's nothing now. It feels so good.
It's nice when you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
And like,
exactly.
I know everybody says money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys freedom. And when freedom makes you happy.
Yeah.
There's a certain point where I know for a fact, for me, I mean, obviously not everybody's the same. Yeah, sure. Like, you can be lonely or whatever, but it's nice being able to do nice things for your parents. It's nice being able to go out and be like, oh no, I got it. It's nice, like, having friends where it's not like, hey, make sure you Zelle me or make sure you Venmo me my $5. You know what I mean? Like, you'll just pay $15 for somebody, and you never think of it ever again. Yeah. But one day, guess what? Oh, remember? No, you had me that one time, and they might spend $50 on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like a never ending, like, you're just not thinking about. That's just one less thing you have to think about.
Well, so what you're explaining, and I'm glad you brought that up about the fact that you're able to be a blessing to others.
Yes.
Yeah, okay? 100%.
So behind the scenes, you're blessing people. And those blessings, being able to bless your families, which is really awesome for both of you, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. God's sitting back smiling because you're actually taking care of your families and being a blessing to them. Like you said, you're not saying no anymore.
Yeah.
Or you're helping people out and you're not expecting anything in return. You're not worried about it. So that's a good way to look at it, because, when you hear some people say money buys you happiness, but then when you explain it the way you do, it sounds a lot better, because there's some people I mean, mom and dad know people who were millionaires and still are, but they're miserable. Their lives are terrible. And part of the thing they're probably missing is they don't bless anyone. Mm-hmm. They're not freely giving and things of that nature. So that does play a role in it, because there's some miserable people out there.
Because they're probably working to live, kind of like what I said.
Right.
They're working to live.
Or like some of them got in the trap where they made money, they bought more. They made money, they bought more. They upgraded everything to the point where $1 million homes, and
what else?
They can't keep the payment, so they got to keep working or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And there's other ones that are successfully being a blessing.
This is true.
You know,
it's nice. And it's like I feel like for you too, like not being present because we work so much, doing nice things for other people. That's what I like. I like to do nice things for people. Like sending money to the Philippines makes me feel good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Things like
good. That was good.
Yeah, it makes you feel good for no reason.
Yeah.
You see these people that had no say in where they were brought up, and could be an ultra poor country, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
And so they're penalized. No.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so part of the ministry, as some of you already know, we help Pastor Joseph's church, and there's no CEOs, there's no overhead people raking the coals. It's just straight up, the money's sent to us. We send it through Western Union right to Pastor Joseph in the Philippines, and he puts the money into the community. We're feeding folks. It's awesome. Building a church. Stephen's been a part of building their church, literally. And then
that's
you
great.
guys,
especially this last go around.
I think when I see it, when I finally go over, that was so cool. When I finally go over there and see it in person, obviously in pictures,
it'll make you cry.
Probably, yeah. It's 100%. Just gonna be like, dang.
Yeah, and even Braylon, you guys all pitched in.
A lot of my friends
and
hustled for money. Like,
their Christmas was amazing. Their Christmas was amazing.
Robert put out too.
They got extra food.
That was good.
Grand Prairie Ford killed it.
Yeah,
I literally just walked around to everybody's desk and like, hey, listen, give me some money. We're sending it to the Philippines, and everyone said yes. Nobody doubted me, but they know who I am. They know I would. Never.
That was nice. And Pastor Joseph got his first electric guitar and an amp.
I know.
And they were praying and singing and worshiping. It was, man, I was on the video, watching the video. He was taking me around and everybody was waving to me and the children and celebrating. And yeah, you're right. We're spoiled in America.
For real.
And then you go over there and you see these places.
It's crazy.
To say the least.
It's so crazy. We're so lucky. Everybody always talks about, I hate America. Okay, well, live in another country for a year and tell me you live in a continent.
Yes.
Because, I mean, sure, I lived in rich countries. The other countries I lived in were rich, but I've also, every rich place has a poor place. Yeah. And there's, take the worst poverty you've seen in the U.S. And times it by 20. Yeah. And that's like the average poverty level in other countries. Yeah,
it's so true. And one of the ways I describe it, like over with Pastor Joseph's area, it's a poor village and they're sitting back. There's one time Steven sent money. They had enough money. They went down to the riverbed to collect rocks. So they collected rocks, put them all in place. Then there was guys mixing concrete and they built the whole platform and concreted the whole floor of this church. Church doesn't even have sidewalls on it. They just come up halfway. Wow. But then he said, we had enough money to feed the workers. And you look over and they're cooking rice and they had some greens, some green vegetables going on with it. And that was their main dish. And all I could think about is how over here in America, not picking on America, but the waste. Rice is a side dish for many families. Yeah. And we go to a restaurant, they throw rice on the side and we end up throwing it out because we don't eat all the rice. And there's places where it's like, that's their main dish.
I know. It's so sad. I know.
It makes you think twice.
Yeah. It is so bad.
But this is good though, because I'm talking with the 20. I know, because we've all done it, but I'm talking with the 23-year-old, the 27-year-old man. You guys are successful businessmen and you're giving back. And you're not complaining. You're not like, here, just take it.
I feel like that's the key, though, to give back. That's like the key.
It's very important.
You don't. I mean, just like you said, you just gotta have a bigger purpose.
Yeah.
If you're living for yourself, then you're just not living. To be honest with you.
Preach it.
Honestly, that's true though. That's not living. Yeah. You ever heard that? I mean, I don't know if y'all heard the song. Listen to the song if you have not heard it. It's called "I Was Here" by Beyonce. Okay. A lot of people do not know the song, but I promise you, listen to that, you'll have a different outlook on life.
Really?
I promise you. It's actually really, really powerful. I don't know why it's not mainstream, but it needs to be.
Probably because.
What's it about?
It talks
Leaving
about
your mark. It's I was here, and it's like if you go on YouTube, honestly, that's the best way to watch it because there's a whole video on it, and it has like a you know how like you leave a pin on an iPhone, it has that little like teardrop upside down mark or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She has it's just how she went to every place like all around the world, and there's a pin all around the world, and she says, gotcha. I was here and I left my mark. I was here. I was here. I was here. I was here. Mm-hmm. And it's just so cool the way she did it. She says, I just want everyone to know that I was here. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when she leaves, just I was here. People will remember me because I was here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like because she did so much good. Yeah. People don't see that side. You know? Yeah. And that's ever since I watched that, I have a whole different purpose in life. Like I want to do mission trips. I want to do it just to say I was here. I was here. You know? Just I helped out. So it's a really good song, really good video if y'all watch it. I Was Here by Beyonce. Nice. Yeah.
It reminds me, when you said that, it reminds me of when you look at a gravestone and there's a poem that talks about how did you live your dash?
Yep.
Or how are you going to live your dash? You know, what are they going to remember about you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when someone says, we remember Pastor Joseph said it in one of his messages or something. He goes, oh, and praise God and thank you for Grand Prairie Ford. I mean, he had the name down pat. I was like, my man remembered it.
I hope.
but you know what I'm saying? No, it's like you don't get it. You get it. You guys get it. But you don't register that 9,000 miles away, you guys are leaving your mark on a poor village, and that's one poor village out of all the poor villages in the entire world. And we're just one family, and my son's workplace and his peeps pouring into this one little village. And what could we possibly do if more people
100%.
It's crazy leaving their mark like that?
When you think of the grand scheme of things, how small we are.
Yes.
Like it's truly insane how like big everything else is, you know what I mean? And we make the biggest like ordeal out of the smallest things.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For real.
It's crazy. But like think about it, like you say Grand Prairie Ford. If you get on like Google Maps and you zoom out and keep zooming out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna it's nothing. Like it's literally nothing, but we've done so much good, and if everybody else does more, you know, it's like it's crazy.
And if everybody tag teamed it, can you imagine the little villages? My man Joseph be driving a Maserati.
Yeah.
Send the Porsche out there.
It's just hard though. It's hard because like you have your people that will walk past a homeless person and they get all mad.
Yes.
And it's like, well, maybe they don't even, obviously there's people that take advantage. I'm not saying there's not.
But this is good.
I remember when I first moved to Dallas, I was that way. I was like, get away from me. Don't talk to me. And I'm mad at myself that I used to be like that because I was never exposed to it. And all I had was that negative connotation of homeless people. Just they're all liars and drunks and drug addicts and crackheads. And it's not the case.
Exactly.
Some of them just want to talk to you. I've literally just talked to a homeless person for 5 minutes, and it was more than me giving him $100 bill.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Just talking to him for no reason.
Acknowledging them. You acknowledged them.
100%.
Yeah.
Somebody will ask to wash your windshield for $10. You give them $10 and that makes their day.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're doing a service. They're not just begging for money. They're like, hey, let me wash your window, which my window was dirtier afterwards. But
come on, man. Come on, man.
His cloth was so dirty. I was like, I just turned up. But you know what I'm saying, though? At least it wasn't just a handout was what I'm getting at, though.
I know. You took us to a very deep, loving moment.
At least it wasn't but I appreciate the grind, though.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like the kid in Vegas. He was out there grinding with this shoe wash stuff. I let him wash my shoe and he ruined it. He ruined my Vans.
That's tough.
But hey, you got to respect the grind.
Yeah. But it's funny you bring that up because you just, at the end of the day, you don't know what people's stories are. You don't know. With the late crisis and everything with COVID and stuff like that, I did a post and it had on there, it showed a person who had just lost their home. Because mortgages doubled and all kinds of crazy stuff happened. You had someone else lose their job by no means of their own and they lost everything. Family members who died and there was nothing left. And so the family ends up being homeless, living on the street. And then there's some people, like you said, they're living on the street. They just want to talk. They just want to be acknowledged as a human. And
some people are homeless because they choose to be homeless.
Yes, some people love being homeless.
There's some people that are homeless because
that got tired of it. Yeah. There's one guy, I think he's in California. He got tired. He was a 12-hour shifter, 7 days a week, he was just going all out. And he finally said enough is enough. And he just walked away from everything.
That's crazy.
Literally.
Squid Games.
That's crazy.
The ending. Same thing.
Just walked away. Yeah.
True.
But no, that's powerful.
I seen something the other day on I think it was on Instagram. It says, I mean, it was just a meme, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it said how humans are the only people that have to pay to live on Earth. And it got me thinking about like, what if I did just like forget it, just went in the woods? Like there's no way I could survive. I mean, I'm sure I'll
it would
go
be
for
hard
a while,
though.
But you know what I mean? Like I was just by myself. It got me thinking. I was like, that's so true. But like, what if I just got dropped off in the woods and that was it?
Yeah. You better learn the life.
Like you got to fight off every other animal. You got to kill. You got to do all that with nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or get in some of these villages where that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're living off the land.
There's people that actually do that.
Yeah.
It just got me thinking about life. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. It
That's
does.
crazy.
You need
Like
to.
I have so much.
It's good you guys think like that. It really is. Because there's some people your age that are making the money you guys are making, and they're just like, I'm living for me. I'm going.
Yeah.
The world is around for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's nice to see you guys are able to mentally.
It is hard though
look back like
sometimes.
that.
You gotta. It is hard. It's hard to stay there. It is hard. Like, I don't know. I know I'm different than I was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Money does make you different, which it sucks, but it doesn't suck at the same time. Like, I don't know. I just noticed sometimes I'll be thinking like, I'll get more mad like waiting for a check or something, or waiting for a server to ask us what we want, or like anybody asking us if like any type of service. And I get mad. In my head, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, am I still, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, no, stop. But that has changed me in that point. Like in that aspect, I started doing that. Do you ever do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like, it's weird. It's so weird. And like, I noticed like my friends do the same thing. And that's the one negative side.
But let me tell you something. See, this is good, by the way. We're having an awesome chat. Because the thing that what you're saying is, at least, here's what I'm saying to you as your father, to both of you. At least you think about it.
Yeah.
At least you know, because what it is it's your conscience speaking to you, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, chill out, man. What are you getting like this for? You're going to become one of these rich snobs. Sit back, chill out. You don't know what the waitress is going through, whatever. Sometimes it is the opposite situation where the person's just being a knucklehead.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you got a Porsche parked outside, you got your big F-150 parked outside, and you might be wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt, and people read you like a book based on your cover and treat you a certain way.
Which is fine.
When you really know deep down inside, I got a Porsche outside.
That's even a crazier topic. That's the craziest thing, is just like how the world perceives you, how perception is reality sometimes.
Yeah.
And you get treated so different.
Yeah.
Like when we pull up in my car,
Oh, yeah.
we can do whatever we want. For real though. Like
know
when we
it.
roll
No, I
up in
know
the
it.
Porsches and the R8, it's just
know it.
like we can literally park
Right this way, sir.
in the handicap parking spots. Like people will ask us to park in the handicap spots.
Oh, because they want your cars in
Yeah.
front of
If
the
we were
places.
anybody else, we'd get a ticket for that.
Isn't that crazy? But when you drive your Leaf,
Yeah. I drive my $10,000 Nissan Leaf and I'm in my dress clothes with my nice clothes on and stuff. People are like, "Oh, who's this $20,000 millionaire in Dallas?" But I don't care about that. It's just funny the way I'm treated. Like people wouldn't hold the door for me if I get out of a Leaf in dress clothes. But if I get out of the
you mean
Porsche,
if you get out of the Porsche and dress clothes, they'll hold the door open for you?
no. Like if I'm
Oh,
in the
really?
Leaf,
Uh-huh.
if I'm in the Leaf and I'm in dress clothes, like people would not hold the door for me.
That's what
because
I
they
mean.
would see my car and be like, "Oh, he's
Right.
just a fake." But if I get out of the Porsche wearing sweatpants, dirty shoes, they're gonna hold the door for me because
Wow,
they're gonna.
'cause they see your
You know what that
car.
makes me think of?
What?
Who bought from us?
Oh God.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Not gonna say last name, but still same
Yeah.
situation.
It's
Like
true.
nobody.
Though.
There's this guy, right? He just got off of work. He just got off of
Super
work.
cool dude.
Coolest dude in the world till this day. We still keep up with him. Coolest
Yeah.
dude in the world. He came into our dealership And we had a GT500 sitting in the showroom, right?
$110,000 ride.
Very expensive. Yes,
110K?
every bit of it. Yeah. Every bit of it. And he was just walking around. He just came back from work. He looks like, let's just say he worked in the oil field, right? Or construction or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Just looking at, when you wouldn't think, right? And nobody helped this guy. And I looked up, I seen him walking around. I was like, do you need help? He was like, yeah. I was like, nobody's helped you? He said, no.
Wow.
Bought from me and Steven, actually.
Had $115,000 GTR that he traded for $110,000 car.
But that's like, I really don't judge people. And I was like, do you need help? He's like, yes. Purchased.
Wow. And it's crazy, but that's how the world works. When we walked into the dealership to buy my car, my salesman pawned me off to another guy because he didn't think it was a car deal because I had my leg sleeves out and a tie-dye shirt and shorts in my Adidas.
I forgot about that.
I know.
Was that when you got the Porsche?
Yeah. But it's just crazy how people look at you. And
yeah. That's why you never judge a cover by the book. Never judge a book by its cover. Yeah.
No, honestly.
That's true. That's a good point. That's really true. That's like someone found out I was an author. My Christian book came out and they were treating me a certain way. And all of a sudden they were like, oh. And I don't ask people to call me pastor. I'm a minister. Yeah. But they were like, oh, pastor, I didn't know you had a book. And I'm like, what? Who is this? This is the same person that was getting on my case because I called them their middle name or something. And they're like, who? You don't know me like that. And I'm like, what?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Wow. It was like, geez. Yeah. I'm just your I, like you guys do, treat everybody the same.
Yeah, that's
100%.
It.
I love on the poor person sometimes more than I love on the rich person,
Absolutely.
But no, that's good. That's good. Yeah, this is a good chit chat, guys.
I know.
This is real good.
I'm like, dang, man.
Yeah.
Better than sit down playing video games.
We came into this like, we'll figure it out. Yep. We'll figure out things to talk about as we go.
Here we are 3 hours late. No,
I know. No, really. We've gone almost a full hour.
God, that was quick.
Yeah, it goes fast when you're talking, hanging out. I mean, you guys covered a lot of stuff. We were going to do 2, but I think we covered a lot of stuff that needed to be talked about. That
was good.
It was really good. Just hanging out, chit-chatting.
Because not a lot of people talk about that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because nobody wants to talk about it.
Nobody just sits down and talk. Period.
Really, though.
Nobody takes that time out of the day just to talk.
Yeah.
That was just like other things.
The money stuff.
Yeah.
Like now people won't talk about it because it's not what's there to talk about. Or people will just think that you're being a jerk because you had to do better, but it's not that. We need to be heard too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's nice for people to know, like, hey, we don't think we're better than anybody. Mm-hmm. It's just we're all friends because we don't judge each other like that. Yeah. Like, people don't look at it. We don't look at each other like we're snobs. Mm-hmm. And I say we, but I mean I have all sorts of different friends. But at the end of the day, people just look at you and they'll just think you think you're better than everybody else, and that's not the case. It's never the case.
Well, sometimes that's the hating. That's the haters.
Yes,
for real.
It's the haterade. They're drinking the haterade.
Who was I telling that to? Man, I forgot what I said. I can't even think about it right now.
It'll come to you here in a minute.
Good Lord, it was good too. I can't even think about it right now.
What's it about? What we were just talking about?
It had something to do with judging people.
Yeah, it had something to do with judging people. And I told somebody, I forgot who it was. Like, I didn't tell it to you. I think I told the story to you or somebody. I said, honestly, but if you just have a conversation with the person, just go up and talk to the person. Yeah. Like, who was I saying that? I can't think. Man, this was like yesterday.
And a lot of people miss out because of that.
Yeah. Oh, like 100%.
We've been going 100%. Everywhere. We went down to the farmer's market and we got out of the vehicles. It was cold and a little wet, but we decided to walk on the outside first. And we met this couple from Kansas doing barbecue. And it was Barb and I were walking. They're like, hey, you guys, come on. Here, get some samples. They let us sample everything on the menu.
Absolutely.
Then we ordered some food from them. Come to find out, she was a nurse. Barb and her started talking. Me and the husband were talking, had a great conversation. The food was amazing. And then you just go to another spot, and the next thing you know, you're having this great conversation with a group of people. And it doesn't matter what you look like or who you are.
No.
And I like that too. Just like when me and Cynthia go out, or even when me and you, we talk to everyone. 100%. And I think that's why I like being in sales too. And you just imagine if you just went out and had a 10-minute conversation with a random stranger every single day, how much more educated you would be.
Yeah.
No, seriously though.
Yes.
How much broader you would think if you just had a conversation with a person for 10 minutes, a random stranger for 10 minutes, no matter what they look like. Or it could be even like you cover up your face and talk to them and then uncover your face and be like, holy cow, I would have never expected you to look like that or be who you are. Right. Just imagine how educated you would become and how open-minded.
Yeah.
Like I was so close-minded when I first moved here. It's crazy. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Maine. Nothing. I'm not saying that.
Right.
That's just the way I grew up. Everybody, me and Braylon thought completely different our whole lives.
Right. Even Windsor had one red light.
For real though.
So 2 different small towns.
I grew up in a bunch of small towns, and I mean, I joined the Air Force. Obviously, that broadened me a little bit. Got me thinking big, moving to the big city and everything. But still, it's just if you could just take the time to talk to somebody random, like we can at work. Like I'll sit there and they'll call me and be like, dude, why don't you have your paperwork together yet? I'm just talking to my customer. It's the second biggest purchase anybody has in their whole entire life. I want them to remember me.
Yeah.
I want to remember them.
Yeah.
I want them to feel important. Like I want to know why they're buying a new car. I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what their goals are. I want to make sure it makes sense for them.
That's awesome.
And no, it's crazy. It is weird to just have random conversations with people.
I've got 7 or 8 business cards I've got to go through to connect with people on Facebook because the people that we've talked to and met. And like there was an older gentleman, he's 77 years old. I'm standing in this booth at this store we went to the other day in McKinney. And he comes directly to me and all of a sudden he starts telling me about a show on Netflix. And I'm black. Most of you know, big, tall, 6'5" black guy. Yeah, you're black. Well, he started telling me a story about a black TV show, about a black guy in a TV show. And I thought, okay, no problem. This is a way to open up the conversation.
He's a white guy?
Yep.
Okay.
White gentleman. He starts telling about the story. And then the next thing you know, he started telling about how he almost died from cancer 2 years ago. He was supposed to be dead. They talked to his wife and said, we need to make arrangements for hospice. And of course, hospice is the last place you go before you die. And I was like, man, praise God. That's a miracle. You're a miracle. You're a miracle standing in front of me. Well, then he realized I was a Christian. Then he starts telling me he writes Christian poetry and he starts reciting a couple to me as is tearing up with joy about Jesus. And he starts tearing up and wiping his eyes as he's sharing these poems to me and stuff. And we're having a great conversation. We must have talked for about 15 minutes. And it was crazy. But you wouldn't know if you just walked past people. And then I spoke to his wife. And she told me and Mom, we blessed her talking to her because I told her about the podcast show. She's like, you do podcasts? What's the name of your podcast so I can listen to it? And she's writing it down. And I told her about her husband, how we met him and talked to him. And he gave me his information so I can find out more and read more of his poems and stuff. And it's like people you would never know. I'm 52 coming up here in February. He's a 77-year-old man.
That's what I was thinking about earlier when I was saying that Kevin Hart. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's like you said, you just never know. You never know who you're passing by. 52.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm 52. Crusty.
You look good, I guess.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? It's good having you on the show. Any tips before we close? Because we cranked out an hour podcast.
Enough.
Good?
Giving it my all.
You good or your all? He almost had us crying for a minute there. And then he said the window was dirtier than it was when he started. It was like...
It was.
No, that was good. It was good, though.
Okay. This made me think about it. Eyes were closing off. You see that thing on Instagram or, TikTok, wherever, where it said, if you want to buy things without looking at the price tag, what you got to do? What you got to do? Do you know?
No.
You got to work without looking at the clock. I was like, honestly?
Oh, dang.
I was like, honestly?
Okay.
That's
somebody
good.
said it on their podcast, and obviously we're closing out. So he said, if you want to buy things without looking at the price tag, you got to work without looking at the clock. I was like,
wow.
That's crazy.
That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah,
you got me there, sir.
Good.
I'll be looking at the clock all the time.
I ain't been shopping at Whole Foods yet, but I'm working on my way.
Right?
I'm working my way up to Whole Foods.
I bought a drink from Whole Foods.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it?
Congratulations.
Kombucha.
The kombucha is
It
probably
was on
$40
sale.
kombucha.
It was that big bottle.
Oh, I was wondering where you got that from. That was good.
Definitely
It was on
$40.
sale. I bought something from Whole Foods.
I can't say I bought anything from Whole Foods.
And a
Can't say
bag
I've
of
ever walked
popcorn.
into Whole Foods.
I walked in. I walked in and I walked out real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know what? $17 a pound for chicken breast? Nah. GMO free. It was the size of a chicken nugget, the real size it should have been.
Yeah, without no steroids.
You guys are crazy. Well, hey guys, you know what? Thanks for being on the show. Really appreciate it. People all over the world are going to hear this, and this will probably be my first episode in February since that's my birthday month.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
same,
that'll be good.
Same.
Oh yeah, you too, man.
We're twins, man.
Ooh, look out. 23 and a 52-year-old twin. That's weird.
It works out.
Somebody stayed in there a little too long. I guess that'd be me.
That's definitely you.
Yep. Well, hey, thanks, guys. Shout out to Grand Prairie Ford and the crew.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks once again for your donations to the Philippines.
Absolutely.
And Pastor Joseph definitely appreciates that. And so, hey, with that being said, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. You guys, great guys, Stephen Lewis and Braylon Boudreaux.
That's it, on the money. On the money.
Nolans.
Don't get more Louisiana than that, does it?
Yes. Yep, both of them come from, how'd you say that? One stoplight towns?
One red light town.
One red light towns.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Literally.
right. The crossroads.
Wouldn't
Yep,
have had it any other way.
that's right. Well, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Be safe out there. And hey, keep being a blessing. I hope you guys listening, if you're any of you 23, 27, 37, 47, 52, 78, however old you are, you know, never be afraid to take advice from young people. And hey, don't forget about others. Very important. I think we got a lot out of this.
Yeah.
Being a blessing to others, taking time out for others. We got some good stuff. You
Yeah,
guys
we
are
did.
preaching
I'm
it. You
thinking
didn't even
like,
know
dang.
it.
I'm about to go back and listen to this.
I'm gonna listen to myself like, oh yeah, that's right. I got to do what I said.
I gotta go to
put
Whole
more
Foods.
effort in when I'm riding my bike on 50.
It's like, now that I
RPMs,
think
I'm
about
like,
it,
come on, now,
I'm actually a
51.
good person, you know?
Yeah.
Like before, I
You
was,
forget.
yeah.
No, that's
It's
good.
easy to forget.
You'll have your little chart. The next time we do another podcast, you guys will both be shopping at Whole Foods, chilling.
100%.
Right? Oh yeah, 2 years. Let's do another one in 2 years. I shop at Whole Foods.
That's how we're going to intro.
I filed bankruptcy though.
We're still driving his Leaf.
Hey, I will, honestly.
No, good stuff. Hey, thank you guys for being on. Love and appreciate you both. And thank you all for tuning in. And hey, God bless you guys. You know how to get in touch with us. You know, we're on any podcast app. Relevance For Today podcast show. Yes. What do you want to say? You gotta say.
I was just looking at you.
He's curling his lips up.
Yeah.
Big Lou out. All right. Hey, love you guys. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, be safe out there. Peace.